So we want to first solve our last assignment. We want to provide solution to our last assignment. So I will search for Bob.
Getting record, sir.
Yes,
Getting
sir.
record, sir.
Yes, sir. So let's go online and download the image of Bob's. Let me search for Bob
Okay.
on. Okay. We can use this. So I'll download this. Save image.
Okay.
Then so I can call this on. Oh, that's web. Oh, let's find another one. That will be either .png or jpg or something. I think this is a web document also. Let's find another Bob.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, this is png. So we've seen one for on. Let's find another one for off.
Okay.
Okay, so now we've downloaded two. Let's delete this one since we're not using it. So to our codes now. I'll come here, we can have our img tag. Then the source will be on dot. Let's look at the extension, whether it's in capital letter or small letter. Properties, small letter. Okay.
Okay.
So on .png, let's give it a width and a height. Height, let's say 100 pixel. Width,
Okay.
let's still leave it at 100, and let's hit on the browser if everything is fine, or if you need to make any adjustments.
Okay.
Okay, this is the Bob. We can make it a bit bigger.
Okay. Yeah.
So this is the image. Let's add a button.
Okay.
On Bob, or for a start, we can say, let's use the off so that when you click on the button, we will switch it on. So on the button, you can put on.
Okay.
So the idea is that when we click on this button, it will put on this Bob. So let's do that
Okay.
first. On click, I'll call on a function called switch Bob. So let's get the function together.
Okay.
So let's give this img an ID. I call it my
Okay.
Bob. Okay. So when we click on this button, we will target this
My Bob.
img. So we can now say my Bob
Yeah.
dot src.
Bob.
So we are changing the source
Okay.
to on dot .png. So let me click on this button. The SRC we change from off to on. So is on now. Then next is we are not just interested in changing this. We also want to change this button itself to off. So that immediately this is on, this one we change to off. So we can give this also an ID. I can call it BTN. So we come here and say BTN dot inner text equals to off. So let's we click on this button. This bob, the source will change to on .png. Then the text on the button will change to
off.
So we have this. Next is we want to ensure that when we click on this button again, this same button, it will put off this bob and this text will change to on. So that brings us to if statement. So we can say if btn dot inner text if it's equal to on, then do all of this. Do this. So when we click on this button, it will check this condition, and of course, since we have on, since it is on, it will do all of this. But if it's not on, else if it's something else, then do the opposite. So change this to off.png and change this back to on. So when we click on it the first time, let's go to the browser. When we click on it, this is on, meaning that this condition will be true. It will do this and it will do this. What's going on? Let's check the console first to see if there's any syntax error. No syntax error. Okay.
I think that.
Oh, triple N. Triple N. Okay. So let's go to the browser now and refresh. Then let's click on this button. Okay, it has changed to on that
it's on now,
and this text has changed to
off.
When we click on this button again, it's going to call on this function and check this condition. Now this condition is not so because the text inside the button is off, not on.
Off.
So it will do the else. So the else will do this and it will change the text on the button back to on. So good. When we click on it again, this condition is true again. It will do this. So not like that. Do you have any questions, sir?
No, sir. It's very, very easy. What I took, what took me how many days? Let me see within minutes. We get there. Somebody wants to join, sir.
Yes, I've accepted. I can learn. Okay.
Sister Kemi, call me.
Yes, sir. I want it. Well, people that the winning, they won't join.
Okay. It's possible. Okay, yes.
Okay, let's Okay. Let's now move to today's class. Today we are going to look at the if, else, if. If, else, if. Let's see how that works. So I'll remove all of this and remove all of this. Then we start creating variables. Variable A, let's say, is 4. So with our knowledge of if, else, we know that we can do something like this. If A equals to 7, do something else. That is, if this condition is not met, do something else.
Yes.
That's what we've learned so far. But today, we want to take it a step forward. So let's say we have another variable called B, and the value of B is 5. So if, else if, what we want to look at today is this thing called else if. Else if. This allows you to do many things based on different conditions. It allows us to do many things based on different conditions. So the way it works is this. We can say if A is equal to, let's say is equal to 3, then alert hello. Else if A is equal to 8, alert hi. Else if B is equal to 15, alert good. Let's add one more. Else if B is equal to 5, alert how are you. So let's look at how this will work. Okay, so we have this variable A is 4, variable B is 5. We have this condition. When we run this code, it's going to start reading from the top. The first thing it will do is it will check if A is equal to 3. If this condition is true, it will alert hello, and of course the condition is not true. So for that reason, it will come to this else if. It will check if A is equal to 8. Since A is not 8, it will ignore it and come to this else if. It will check if B is equal to 15. Since that is not true, it will ignore it. Then it will come here and check if B is equal to 5. Oh, this is true. So meaning it will allow how are you. Do you have any question?
How are you? No, sir. Very clear.
Let's run it on the browser. How are you?
Yeah, how are you? Yeah.
Let's look at an instance whereby we have this. In this situation, this is correct. It will alert hello. This is also correct.
Okay.
It should alert how are you.
Okay.
But
How
the
are
way
you?
else it works is that once it meets a condition that is true, it will ignore other things
Yes.
in that block. In that if block, it will ignore every other thing. Once this condition is true, it will do this and ignore other things, because this is if A is equal to 5. Sorry, if A equals to 4, alert hello. Else if, let's say it in Yoruba, can you correct? You consider like else if. Hope you understand.
Yes.
So what is what's happening is saying else if, that is provided it is not this like plan B. This is the plan A.
Yeah.
So if this is not met, then you can now come here. If
Yes,
this is not met, then you can now come here. If this is not met, then you can now come here. So once this is correct, it will ignore every other thing, every other conditions. For that reason, it will only alert hello. It's not going to alert
Hello.
how are you. Hello. And that's all. Let's move on.
Hello, sir.
Yes, sir.
But sir, in the distance calculator I just did,
Yes, sir.
all the conditions worked, and each of them is correct. So what's the difference between that and this one?
Okay. At any point in time, sir, only one of them will be correct because
Okay.
we have in the calculator there was a select, there was an ID. Uh, Now, when the user selects something, an option, whatever the user
Yes, sir.
selects will be the value of this ID at any point in time.
Okay. Now I understand. Okay. Okay. I understand now.
Yes, sir. So in else if only once this is correct, it will ignore others. If this is correct,
Others.
it will ignore these two. If
Yeah.
this is correct, it will ignore the last one. So that's the way else if works.
It works.
It's also possible for none of them to be correct. It's possible. Let's take a such scenario. Let's say this is 7, and let's say this is 25. In this case, none of them is correct. So it's not going to do
Yes.
anything. It won't do
Anything.
anything. But it's
But
possible
what
for...
if we okay.
Sir?
Okay. Now what if we, for example, X if A equals to 8? What we now what if we now say X if A not equals to 8 alert I? Will it work?
If we say else if...
As a, like in the line 14, we have X if A equals to 8, assuming A not equals to 8. Will it work?
Yes, sir, it will alert
Will it
I.
alert I?
Yes, sir, it will alert I. Let's run it. It will
Oh,
alert I.
okay.
So this is how the else if works.
What?
Next thing, but it's also possible for none of them to be correct. It's possible. In the
Okay.
present situation, none of them is correct. So it's not going to do anything.
Yeah.
It won't.
Anything.
So you can now add a final else. What this means is,
Okay.
in case none of them is correct, maybe you still want to do something.
Mm-hmm.
That is, if none of them is correct, then do this else. Alert, let's say, I don't know. So in case if none of them is correct, then it will do this final else. But if any of them is correct, it will do whatever you put here or whatever you put there.
Okay.
So in this case, it will alert
Okay.
I don't know, since none of them is met. But you see this final
Okay.
else, it needs to be the end.
Yes.
What I mean is this, you can't put it here. If you put it here, it has invalidated all of this. These ones are no longer
All
needed.
of these. Yeah.
So because this ends it, once and none, this is not correct, then it will definitely come here, and this will throw back an error. This part will throw back an error.
Mm.
So when you check the console, I expect that we should see error. Okay, yeah, we have an error here, line 20. So this will throw back an error.
Mm.
Do you understand?
So I want to ask a question.
Yes, sir.
Now you said, assuming how would I put it, that if all the else if are not correct, that it will go and perform the command now in X, that which is the last one.
Yes,
So I want
sir.
to ask, is it possible in reality, is it possible to have a code like this, that all of them will not correct, only the last one will be correct? Why don't we just, since instead of writing else if and all of them are not correct and only S is correct, why don't we start with the only one that is correct and get what we want to get? Abi, I don't know if you are getting my
Yes,
question.
sir. Yes, sir. But the thing is this, you may not be able to outthink your users.
Okay.
Sometimes the reason we can do this is because these values are static. These are static values.
Okay.
But look at it this way. Imagine users are the ones supplying these values. We may not be able to know what the users will supply per time. And users can be funny.
Yeah. Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
So that's the reason.
Okay. 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 Okay.
Okay. So we have all of this. Then let's look at another scenario. Let's create a new variable.
Okay.
Then let's say okay. So let's look at this scenario.
Okay, sir.
In this if statement, this is correct. And this is also correct. C is 10.
Okay.
And A is 8.
Yeah.
And I've explained earlier that in a particular if block like this, only one of them will be executed. But if you run this,
Alerted, yeah.
it will alert I and it will also alert great. Reason is this. This
Okay.
if this is one if block and this is another if block which is independent of this.
Okay.
And if block starts with
So
if.
okay.
Sir, what is this?
So what I'm saying now is that after closing a particular if statement,
Yes, sir.
we can start another if statement by the use of if.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay.
So in this block it will only run one, and in this second block it will also run one.
Yeah. Okay.
So let's run
Okay.
it. I great. So the same thing also, even if the else is not there, it will still do the same thing. I great, because there are two different if blocks. They are not dependent on each other. They are not. We still have the same result.
Okay.
So I think
Okay.
we've done justice to if statements. Let's now use it for one task. So what you're going to do is this. I will do a classwork first.
If.
Then I will teach us something new. Then give
Okay,
us an
sir.
assignment to submit in the next class. Okay. So let's do an assignment, a classwork together. Input. We want to do a grading system.
Okay, sir.
And click. Grade student. So what I want to do is this.
Okay.
The user will come to this input and type a number. So when the user types that number, the user will click on this button. If the grade of the student, let's assume the user typed a number from 70 and above,
Okay.
or between 70 to 100, it will display excellent.
Yeah.
So let's assume the user types a number between 60 to 69. It will display maybe good. 50 to 59. It will display average.
Okay.
45 to 49. It will display pass.
Okay.
Then 40 to 44. It will display fair.
Okay.
0 to 39. It will display fail. Less than 0. or more than 100, it will display out of range. Do we get it, sir?
Okay. Yes, sir.
So this is what we want to do. The user will type any number here.
Okay.
Then we are going to check if it
Okay.
falls in any of this category, and then display the right information. So
Okay,
let's add
sir.
a div here. We can call this div, we can give it an ID called results.
Okay.
So we are going to be displaying it inside this div. Then
Div,
we
okay.
can give this an ID, we can call it maybe IMP also. So when we click on this,
Okay.
when we click on this button, we will get whatever the user types here, then
Yeah.
display the right message here.
In the result column.
So let's get a function called grade student.
Okay.
So trigger the function. First thing, we need to get whatever the user types inside this input. That's the first thing.
Yeah.
So we can say alert
Alert.
imp dot value. So let's see if it's
Okay.
fine. It's working fine. Let me comment out these ones. Okay.
Okay.
So it's working fine. Next,
Yeah.
let's now start putting our conditions. If imp.value is greater than 100 or
100.
imp.value
Okay.
is lesser than
It's
0,
less than 0. Yeah.
results dot inner
Inner
test
test
equals to out
goes
of
out of
range.
range. Okay.
So let's see if that is working. So I'll put a value here. Fine. Let's now put a small value, -7. Out of range. Good.
Out of range. Yeah.
Next,
Yeah.
let's undo this 70 to 100. Else, if imp.value
That's it. Yeah.
is greater than or equal to 70, and at the same time imp.value is lesser than or equals to 100. Now the reason we are not using or is this: or only needs to meet one of the conditions. So if you are using or, imagine we put
Okay. Yeah.
30. 30 is lesser than
Yes.
or equal to 100. It meets this condition.
Yes. Yes.
Or only
Yes.
needs one of them to be true. We need something that needs both of them to be true. This
Correct.
must be
Yeah.
met, and this
Yeah,
must be
yeah.
met. So with that, it will
Yeah.
fall within that range.
Yeah.
So we can say result that inner text equals to
Yes.
excellent. Let's now complete the rest. Copy. So next is 60 to 69. So this is 60 and this is 69.
Okay, sir.
Yes, sir.
I wanted to ask the question, but I just felt I should air my opinion. I now realize why you put that. Initially, I wanted to ask that why did you put the second condition in line 23? As if input of value is greater than or equals to 70. So I now discover that if you don't put the second one, that means if the user enters 120, it will.
Yes.
I don't know if you are getting me, sir.
Yes, sir.
That means if the user enters 120, it will still display excellent, but you don't want anything above 100. So that is why you have to step it. I mean, you have to give it a cap.
Yes, sir.
by
Yes.
adding the second condition of input dot value less than or equals to 100.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You get it, sir. So that's the reason we have this. Let's add another one again. Next is 50 to 59. 50, 59. So we can come here and put average. Then next, I think 40, no, not 40. Next is 45 to 49. Then that would be, I think, pass. Yes. Then 40 to 44. That would be fair. Then finally we can, well, you can complete it with adding else, because anything that doesn't meet any of this condition, we meet this one. We've handled more than 100 or lesser than 0. So anything that doesn't meet any of the, but if we still want, you can still put else if 0 to 39. You can still do it like this if you want to, or you just add final else. It's work the same way. Fail. So when we write anything, it will check if it meets any of these words, and with that it will display the right message. If it falls in this, it will display good. If it falls in this, it will display average. Let's run it on the browser. So let's say 76. Excellent. 43. Fair. 12. Fail. 65. Good. So let's shorten this code. We can still reduce this code a bit. Now what we can do is this.
Okay.
We can say if this. Now why can we easily say this and it will still work fine? The reason is this: if it's more than 100, this one will stop it. It will meet this condition before coming here.
Okay.
Do you get it, sir?
Yes.
Let's assume the user type 102.
Yes.
102 will meet this one.
We meet this condition. That's out of range.
Yes, and it will display out of range. And since in if statements, once this one is true, it won't bother checking this.
Yeah.
Although 102 meets this, it also meets this. But since this one will stop it from coming here, this one would have stopped it and it would have displayed out of range.
Okay.
But let's assume the user types a number like 80. 80 does not meet this one.
Yeah.
So it will come here and check this. And 80 meets this one, so it will display excellent.
Check.
So,
Exactly.
Same way, we can remove this. So let's say the user enter a number like 75. 75 does not meet this.
Yes.
75 meets this, it also meets this, but this one would have stopped 75 and it would have displayed excellent.
Excellent.
So, but let's say the user enters 62. It doesn't meet this. It doesn't meet this because 62 is not greater than or equal to 70. But it means this, so it will display good. So we can do the same thing till the end now.
Okay.
Yes. So we still have the same results.
Result. Okay, sir. Good.
Excellent. Let's play with this a bit and let's do some more interesting things. Now, when it is excellent, let's set the background color to green. When it is good, maybe we can set it to
Okay.
maybe blue. Then, but when it is filled, you can set it to red, something like that, so that
Red.
it's going to just
Okay.
explain it, maybe make it, just to make it more interesting. So we can say
Okay,
result
sir.
dot style. Whenever you want to use JavaScript to style things, you use
Okay.
the style dot the property you want to. Now we could have written
Yeah.
background hyphen color, but you don't use hyphen like this.
Okay.
So instead, you write it in camel casing like this.
Okay.
So it's not style dot the property you want to set. We
Okay.
can now set it to green. So let's copy this
Okay. Wow.
and okay, let's first do this. But we still find a way of adjusting this and make it even better. We can make this to be yellow.
Yeah.
We can make this to be maybe purple also. We can make this to be let's say orange. Okay, this one should be orange. This is very close to fail. This one can be orange. Why this one can be, which color can we set here? I'm even thinking this yellow. Yes, we can set this to yellow and take yellow out of this place. Yellow is close to orange.
Okay.
Something like when it gets to this place, the user should know that, oh,
Okay.
I'm getting close to failure, something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So we can set this to yellow. Then which color should we
And
use
make
here?
that one.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which color, sir?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, which color should we give this? Maybe indigo. So we have this now. Let's run it on the browser and see how it works.
Sir?
So we've set the background color of everything.
Hello?
Yes, sir. I was asking for the color to put here the other time, but I think you couldn't hear me, sir. Can you hear me, sir? Hello, sir.
The network is bad, sir.
Oh, sorry, sir. Sorry.
The screen is just
Okay.
the screen is just static.
Oh, okay. So if you type this,
I said the network is bad. Your screen is just static.
oh, I get it.
It's
Sorry,
static.
sir. Sorry, sir. Sorry, sir. Now we have a little problem here. Is it working now? Is it moving now at your end, sir? Oh, sorry for your network, sir. Can you hear me, sir? Okay.
Hello?
Hello, sir. Can you hear me, sir?
Okay, okay, yes, I can hear you now, sir.
Okay. Can you see my screen?
Hello, sir.
Yes, sir. Please, can you see my screen,
Yes,
sir?
I can see it now.
Okay, okay. So now we've set
Yes, sir.
the
Yes, sir.
okay. We've set the color using JavaScript, but there's a
Okay.
little problem here. The problem is that this is not showing very well on this background.
Yeah.
It's not showing very well. This black color is not showing very well on this background. So we want to change this color, the color of the text itself. We want to change it maybe to white on this blue background. So that's the next thing we want to do now. So we can now say results dot style dot color is white. So that the color will be clear on this background. Let's look at another one that is not very clear also. Good. This white is fine on this background now. Let's look at 65. Okay, I think this is also fine on the background. Then let's say 72. Sorry, let's say 108. Okay. Let's say 23. 23 is not changing the background color to red. Let's see what is going on. Oh, we didn't set it to red.
But you've not done it. You've not set it.
So.
Right.
So 23. Okay, we can set the text color to white. So I think white is fine with almost all the colors. So we can just bring this out here. Like irrespective of whatever it is, the color of the text will be white for everything. I think white is fine with everything.
Okay.
So we can now say good.
Okay.
11. Fail. Okay. 42. Good. I think it is fine now. Let's
this is becoming sweeter.
Thank you, sir. Then one more thing. What else can we still adjust? I'm just looking at if we can do any other thing. Well, maybe we can just do something like this. Let's get a variable.
Okay.
Variable my text.
Yeah.
So we can say at any point in time my text will be this out of range.
Okay.
So I can remove this result.inner text now.
Okay.
I'll just copy this and say my text is excellent.
Okay.
So I can remove this. Then I can say my text is good.
Good.
Now, at any point in time, my text will be one out of all of this. So we can now come to the end of this place. That is outside. We are still inside this function, but we are outside the if statement now. Because we know that my text will just be one out of all of these things. We can now say results.inner text equals to my text.
Okay.
So if my text is fail, result.inner text will be equals to fail. If my text is fair, result.inner text will be equals to fail. If my text is pass, result.inner text will be equals to pass. On and on like that. Pass. We can also do the same thing with this one too if you want to.
Like for the result for the background color, right?
Sir?
I say for the background color we can create a variable for it.
Yes, sir. So we still have the same results.
Okay, sir.
Out of range. 94. Excellent. 63. Good. 55. Average. 48. This white text is not fine on yellow. It's not fine on yellow. So we can specifically set that one to any other color.
Okay.
But I think every other thing is fine. Okay.
Yeah.
So 44 fear. Okay.
Yeah.
For what's 38 fill.
Mm.
Okay. So we can, if we want, we can just set this one, but we may not necessarily do that. But hope you understand it, sir.
Definitely, sir. In fact, very, 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 very straightforward.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yes.
So let's learn something new. Then I'll give us an
Okay, sir.
assignment to submit in the next class.
Plus. Okay, sir.
So let's remove all of this. Today I want to learn something called events. Event keyword. We've learned events, but I want to learn event
Yes.
keyword. In JavaScript,
Okay.
event is a keyword. Let's explain what this means. Let's look at this scenario. A button. Let's give this an ID, and let's give it a name attribute also. I can call this BTN. I
Okay.
can call this my BTN.
That's in.
Now I can say when I click on this button, call on a function called myfunc. Click me. Let's put the text here. So when I click on this button, it's going to call on a
Yeah.
function called myfunc. Okay. Now if I put 5 here and I
Yeah.
put A here, you know, when I click on
Yeah.
this button, this 5 will be sent as the value of A, Abby.
Of A. Yeah. Yeah.
So let's now say console log A. This will console log 5.
Yeah.
So let's check the console now. I've clicked on the button. So we have it. If I click on it again, it will log it again.
Yeah.
So let's find now. Next is this. If I put a variable here, let's say my name,
Yeah.
and I click on this, you know my name will be sent as value of A, Abby.
A. Yes.
No sir, it won't. It won't. There is no variable called my name.
Mm.
Except if it's in quotes, you see it as a string.
Okay.
But if it's not in quotes, it will assume that there's a variable called my name. And since there's no variable
I know.
called my name,
Yeah.
this will throw back an error.
Hmm.
So let's run it and see how that works. So we have this error. My name is not defined.
Hmm.
Now let's look at something interesting. I will come here and I will add something called events. Based on the last explanation, we expect this to throw back an error,
Yes.
but it won't. That's because this is a keyword and it has what it does. What we want to do now is we want to explain what this event stands for. Normally, since you don't have any variable called event, this is expected to throw back an error. Since it's not in quote and there's no variable called event, but it won't. Let's see what happens. Look at what we have here. What's the meaning about this jargon? See this event. What it does is that it's going to give us all information that we need about what is calling on that function. And come again. This event will give us everything we need about this particular entity that is calling on this function that has events. So everything about this button now is embedded in this event. Do you get it, sir? In fact, there are a lot of things. It contains where we clicked on. It contains the ID. It contains this name. It contains this text. It contains even the tag name itself. It contains a lot of things. In fact, it even contains the axis we click on, like the coordinates on this button. You clicked on the coordinate, maybe 3, something. It contains a lot of information. And for now, we don't need many of them. But it's good we check out what this is. This is the event.
Mm.
This if you open this, you will see another set of things inside this one. If you open this, this contains other things also. If you open this contains other things. So it has a lot of things that we need and things that we don't even need for now. So let's do something. We can now say event.target. Event.target, this event will be sent as a value of A. So we can now say A.target. Do you get it, sir?
Target. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So let's move on. Let's click now and see what A.target stands for. We have the tag.
Okay.
So we can now say A.target.id if you give us BTN. BTN. We can say A.target.name if you give us my BTN.
My BTN.
Sorry.
Yes, sir.
We can say A.target.inner text if you give us click.
Okay. Click me.
Wait. Aside targets, we also have we can use other things like coming. Is it coming? Aside targets, we can use this also. What is it? This is the target that we just looked at.
Yes, target. Yeah.
There are a lot of things you can check, but I think this easily explains it. Not view. I'm looking for this. This is it has an array. Oh, I forgot the name of the attribute. This attribute will give us all the parts. Okay, yeah, I think dot parts. It should be dot parts. A.parts. Let's go to the code.
Okay.
It's not a part. I'll check it out. But this A that has a lot of things inside of it. And one of them is target, and that's what we are going to be needing for tonight. This target returns this all button. We can now say that whatever property we need on it. If we need the ID, we say that ID.
Yeah.
If we need the name, we say that name. If you need the text, we say that inner text. And I don't like that.
Text.
So let's take this a step forward. We can say A.target.inner text equals to, we cannot change the text inside it to something else. Changed. Let's say equals to changed. So when we click on this button, it will come on this function. This event will be sent as a value of A. Then the text inside it will now be changed to changed.
Changed.
So when we click on it now, the text has changed to changed.
Yeah. Changed.
Let's create another button. So when we click on this first one, the text of the first one will be the one to change to changed, but not the second one.
Okay.
Then when we click on the second one also, the text inside the second will be the one to change to changed. Like whatever that particular one that we click on will be the one to change to change. Of course, two elements cannot have the same ID, so we can remove this
ID. Right.
So when we click on this has changed to change, but this one is still intact. Now when I click on this now, this one will also change to changed. Any questions, sir?
No, sir. It's straightforward.
Okay. A common way we use this when we are dealing with inputs, and we can say let's say input type text. We can say on key up,
Okay.
call on a function called, let's say we are still calling on this function called myfunc, and we add event. So this event stands for this A. We can now say event.target.value. We are not using ID now. This event, event.targets, we return this input back.
Yeah.
We can now say dot value.
Yeah.
So let's do that. So we can now say alert or console log a.target.value. So as we type inside this input, it's going to be logging the value to the console. That is whatever the user types there.
Yeah.
As the user types. So that's it. One more thing. This event, whenever we are getting it inside a function, in JavaScript, okay, let's talk about something we call conventions. Conventions are practices in the community. I think I've once mentioned it. Conventions are practices. If you don't follow conventions, your code will still work. But it will be difficult for other developers to understand your codes. And even maybe, even you, after some years, you may not be able to understand the codes. But more importantly, it will be difficult for other developers to collaborate with the developer. So it's good we follow convention. And the convention in JavaScript is this. Whenever your function is receiving event as an argument like this, it's good you call it event also. That is the convention. If you use other things, it will work like we just did. When we used
we used A and it worked.
And it worked. But the convention is to use events. So that immediately I see your code, this stands, the developer will know that this stands for event.
Event. Yeah.
Or we use E.
Okay.
Or we use EV. Those are the common things people use.
Okay.
Event. But I think the two you'll be saying the most is event in full or
event. E. Okay.
Those are the two that we'll be saying the most. So please, let's follow convention. Whenever it's event, then let's follow this convention.
Okay, sir.
Also, we can add other things. It doesn't stop us from sending other values. We can still send other values. So the event will be sent as the value of event. This 7 will be sent as the value of var.
Wow.
Do you get it, sir?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Now to the assignments. We want to build a game. Our first game. We want to build this game. I think I had this here. Good. This is the game.
Okay.
So at the beginning we can create a table like this. Or we just create empty board right from beginning. Let's look at this.
Okay.
This parts. This will be an advert was to pop up. Okay. This will be the beginning. This is going to be how it will look like at the beginning. It will be empty. Now, okay, so for a start, let's register users. Like the first user will register maybe 2 users. An input for the first user, another input for the second user. The first user and the second user, both of them will register. Like, let's just have 2 inputs. All of these things will be on the same page. To be on the same page. An input for the first user, an input for the second user. Then, after that, there will be this table. these boxes. So let's assume the first person, when he clicks on any part, let's say I click
The
on it.
the 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 line is breaking. I cannot hear you very well. The line is breaking.
Okay, can you hear me now, sir?
Okay, I can hear you very well now.
Okay. So at the beginning, there will be two inputs for users to enter their names. After entering the name, then the users will now be ready to play the game.
Hello,
This
sir.
part is the empty board,
Hello.
like we are just starting.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Can you hear me, sir?
Okay.
Can you hear me, sir?
Okay.
Hello, sir.
I can hear you, sir. I
Okay.
can hear you now, sir.
All right. Thank you, sir. So at the beginning, the users will enter their names.
Yes, I can hear you now.
All right, sir. At the beginning, there will be two inputs like this. Let me delete this. Inputs.
I can hear you, sir. I can hear you.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
So this will be the first user or user one. First player, player one.
Okay.
Then player two. So player one will enter his or her name. Player two will also enter his or her name. Then they will click on a button called Start.
Okay.
So when they click on this button, they can now start playing the game.
Okay.
So we have this board. This is an empty board. We can click on anywhere. Let's say I click on this. I click on this. Then X will be here. In fact, I think the best will be for me to display it. Please give me a minute. Let me display it for us.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
So I want to build this. This was built by one of the students that I trained when I was still at SQL.
Okay, sir.
Now, when we want to start, we enter a name. Player 1,
Okay.
player 2. Now, if I choose not to enter any name, and I try to start the game, it won't. It's telling me that
No start.
I need to input the player names.
Input. Okay.
So let's start. So now I can start the game. Now, since Taye is the first player, start the game, Taye, and Taye is X. So Taye can
Okay.
play anywhere. Let's say I decide to play here. Then the next player to play will be Kenny, which is
Kenny.
your turn. So let's say Kenny plays here. Then the next player to play is Taye, X, O, X. Now we have a winner. Taye is 1, Kenny is 0. Because we have X, X, X like this,
Yeah.
diagonally.
Okay.
There's a winner now. If I try to play elsewhere, it won't go.
Okay.
It's telling me that we have a winner already.
I have a winner already.
So I can click on replay.
Yeah.
So when I click on replay, it has emptied
Okay.
the board. But the count is still 1,
Okay.
0.
0.
So the next player to play now is Kenny, because Kenny lost the last one. Like in the last game, the last player to
Okay.
play was Taye. Now the next player is Kenny, so that's why O is starting first.
Okay.
So then X, then O, then X, then O, then X, then O. So it's 1 1 like this, X X X. Let's play again. X O X O X like this, the same thing.
Yeah.
So that's 2 1. Then if it's also the same at the top now, that would be another.
Yeah, that's
If
good too.
if it's the same like this, there is a win.
That is after a new game.
Sir?
Is I said after a new game is initiated.
Yes, yes, sir. So it's also possible for us to have draw. Let's look at that scenario. X, okay, this, O, X, O. Oh, there's still a winner. O. Let's try to go for a draw. X, O, X, O,
Yeah.
X, O, X, O, X. So, oops, draw game. Click on replay. So there's a draw. This is draw. We can play again. So when we are done, we can end the whole game. It has cleared the whole screen. We have ended the whole game and we can start again. New players can register now. Do you get it, sir?
This will be challenging,
Yes,
but
sir.
there's no.
Yes, sir.
But sir,
Yes,
this
sir.
board,
Yes,
this
sir.
board, is it a body?
This is actually a table,
Okay,
but you can use anything. But I think in this case, it's a table,
okay,
and it was well styled.
yeah. Okay, sir.
If we've been doing the previous assignments, we won't have issues with this, or we won't have much issues with this. But if we've not been doing the previous assignments, then I
Yeah.
can bet it will be almost impossible to get this one done. But since we've been doing the previous ones, we won't have issues with it. Sincerely, it will keep getting tougher.
Yeah.
Like the projects will keep
definitely.
getting tougher and tougher and tougher.
Yeah.
So that's why I used to wait for us to complete an assignment before we move on, because the next assignment will most likely be tougher than the last.
And the previous one, yeah.
So we need the knowledge of the previous one to do it.
To do it, yeah.
So that's the reason I usually wait for us to complete it then before we move on.
Okay, sir.
Alright, sir.
Thank you very much, sir.
You're welcome, sir. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Have a
Yes,
lovely
sir.
night, sir. So my regards to
Yes, sir.
everybody.
Yes, sir. And you too, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Good night, sir.